Okay, good morning class. Today, let us tackle about writing the concept paper under unit. Ayan. But before our discussion, let us tackle or read this first. First is the content standards. The learner understands the principles and uses of a concept paper. Then, for performance standards, the learner produces a well-balanced concept paper in a specific discipline. Then, the most essential learning competencies first is to determine the ways a writer can elucidate on a concept by definition, explication, and clarification. Then, second is to compare and contrast various kinds of a concept paper, such as art, business, law, philosophy, politics, religion, science, sports, tech book, or the technical and vocational such as home economics, agri-fishery, AI, and then the ICT. Then last is to present a novel concept or project with accompanying visuals. Yan. So now, let us proceed to our main discussion, which is about writing a concept paper. But before that, let us define what is a concept paper. Ayan. According to this, a concept paper is a summary document of a project proposal that tells what the project is all about, the reasons for conducting the project, and how it will be carried out. This paper also provides an overview of the project and help funding agencies eliminate proposals that are likely to be disapproved. So, yung concept paper daw, it is the summary document of a project proposal. Kung meron kayong naiisip na project proposal, yan, or any project proposal na makakatulong sa community or sa schools or yan, sa community nyo, yan, pwede kayong gumawa ng concept paper. Ayan. So, writing a concept paper has several uses. First, serves as a foundation of the full proposal, determines whether the project is feasible or not, piques the interest of the potential funding agencies, obtains informal feedback on the ideas prior to preparing the full proposal. Then last is helps in addressing social issues which plague our society. So, yung writing a concept paper, ayan, yung concept paper is for for project proposals, like for example yung sa community project na mga nakikita natin. So bago mapatupad yung isang project or ma-approve yung isang project, need mo nang gumawa ng project proposal or yung concept paper na tinatawag natin. Ito nga yung mga several uses ng concept paper. Yan. And then kung yung writing a concept paper, meron siyang several uses. Meron din siyang parts. Ito. The following is the parts of a Ayan. The parts of a concept paper may also vary, but depending on the nature of the project or activity when it is used in a specific discipline. So, kada concept or project or activity proposal, ayan, yung ginagawa natin ng concept paper, nakadepende siya or magbabari siya sa different or specific discipline. Like for example, sa discipline about sa law, meron silang ibang concept na ginagawa or ibang concept paper para lang siya doon sa specific discipline na yun, which is yung example nga natin is sa law. Sa philosophy, meron din silang ibang concept paper. Yan. Nagwawari rin yun sa discipline nila, which is yung philosophy. Yan, and so on and so forth. Then, below are the two outlines of a concept paper based on the So, concept paper for a project. So, kung gagawa kayo ng project proposal, pwede kayong gumamit ito. Use the structure below when you want to propose a certain tangible project in your discipline. Alright, so class, Yung for project proposal or concept for a project, ito po yung mga parts niya. First is the cover page. It contains proponent's name, o sino yung sumulat ng project proposal na yan, proponent's contact number, email address, proponent's agency, and then the date of submission. Ito lang yung mga basic information na ilalagay natin sa cover page under ng project or a concept for a project. And then, next is the introduction. So, kung meron tayong cover page, syempre meron tayong introduction about the project proposal or the concept for a project. It contains, first is short description of proponent's agency, major accomplishments, and capability to undertake the proposed projects. And then, the reasons why the funding agency should support the project. So, sa introduction, ibibigay ninyo or i-state ninyo or explicate ninyo yung short description ng proponent's agency or nung sino yung ano yung pangalan ng agency na yan or sino yung tao involved dyan sa concept na yan for project. Ayan. Syempre, yung credibility niya, yung ano ba yung mga major accomplishments ng agency na yan or ng tao mismo or ng proponent. And then, its capability to undertake the proposed project. And then, state also, i-state nyo rin dyan is yung reasons why the funding agency should support the project. Ano ba yung reason ninyo? Ano ba yung kahalagahan yan ng project proposal na yan or ng concept na yan for project? Bakit need nilang maglabas ng para or magbigay ng funding system? Yan. And then, next one is the rationale or background. It contains the state the problem to be solved. Ano ba yung mga problems sa gusto ninyong isolve? Yan, or mabigyan ng linaw or sagot. And then, state the project significance. So, for example, yung project ninyo is about the community. Yan, community project. Ano ba yung mga problema na gusto, or issues na gusto nyong isolve based dun sa project proposal ninyo na ginawa. Yan, for community. And ano ba yung significance niyan or kahalagahan niyan sa community ninyo, yung dinedevelop ninyong project concept paper. Yan, class. And then, project description. Siyempre, merong project description, yung inyong concept about project. Yan, it contains the objective of the project, methodology or yung action plan, timeline, anticipated outcome, and how the outcome will be evaluated. Yan. And then, project needs and costs contains. Ayan, sabi nga natin kanina, merong mga may funding or may perang involved. Syempre, kung, for example, community project yan, syempre, maglalabas ka talaga ng pera dyan or need mo ng budget for, for community. Yan. Yan. For example, ito yung nilalaman ng, for example nga, community project. At so, kailangan i-state nyo rin sa project proposal ninyo is yung project needs and costs. Yan, ito yung mga nilalaman niya. First is yung budget, yung item description, and also the amount. And then, last is personnel or equipment needed. Yan, kung need nyo yan, kung meron ba kayong equipment na kailangan dun for community project, yan sa project concept ninyo, ayan, i-state nyo rin siya dito sa nilalaman ng concept for a project. And then, concept paper for academic research. Yung isa kanina, while ago, about siya sa project proposal. Yan, concept for a project. Yan. And then, this one is for academic research. Use the structure below when you intend to present an idea or concept for a research you want to pursue. Yan, for research siya. Ito po yung mga parts niya. First is the title page. Siyempre, hindi mawawala yung title page. It contains research title, name and school, and then date of submission. Yan. Second is the background of the study. Yan. Pag sinabi natin background of the study, it state the field you are researching on. Ano ba yung field? Ano ba yung pinaka nilalaman nung or background, brief information about dun sa nire-research ninyo. Yan. State the problems to be addressed by the research. Ano ba yung mga problems na gusto nyong solve? Yan. Provide statistics and previous studies to prove your claim. Syempre, meron kayong RRL na ilalagay dyan or information na nakuha ninyo or mga statistical information na gather nyo na data based dun sa, for example, gumamit kayo ng information na kinuha nyo siya sa internet, sa books, articles, or journals. Ayan. Syempre, sabi nga natin kapag nagre-research tayo, di ba, dapat meron tayong meron tayong evidences. Yan yung real evidences. Hindi pwedeng gawa-gawa yung informations na ilalagay natin. Then, reasons in conducting the research. Ano ba yung mga reasons mo? Bakit mo gustong gawin yung research na yan? Or bakit ka nag-propose ng concept paper about sa research? Yan. Then, theoretical and practical implications. When we say theoretical, yan, involve dyan yung mga theory. Preliminary literature review. Ayan yung mga RRN nyo. Contains provide theoretical framework. Ayan. When we say framework, ito yung chart. Chart about sa theory. Aside sa ini-explain mo yung theory, kailangan meron din siyang framework. Ayan. Provide major related literature review at least 5. So, tinutukoy dyan is yung RRL. Ayan. To support your claim or your study. Provide brief synthesis of the reviewed literature and studies. When we say synthesis, synthesis means to combine a number of different pieces into a whole. Synthesis is about concisely summarizing and linking different sources in order to review the literature on a topic or make recommendations and connect your practice to the research. Okay, sa simpleng pagpapaliwanag, synthesis, ito daw yung pinagsama-sama ninyo, combine or binigyan nyo na concise summarizing yung inyong RRL. Ayan, brief. Sabihin maikli or shorten. Statement of the problem or objectives contains state the general problem in one sentence. Ayan. State your specific research questions of the objectives. Yan. So, explainable naman yan. And then, methodology contains, ito po yung under sa section ng methodology, yan, sa writing a research paper for a concept paper. Ayan, ito po yung nilalaman. First is context and participants of the study. Ayan. Instruments to be used. Ano ba yung mga instrumentong ginamit nyo dyan? For example, gumamit kayo ng survey questionnaire, nagtanong kayo, recording, yan. Yun, pwede nyo siyang ilagay doon. Data collection procedures. Ano ba yung naging procedure ninyo habang nangangalap kayo ng mga datas or informations? Ayan. States nyo rin dyan. And then, data analysis scheme to be used. Okay. Timeline. Yan. So, timeline, it contains duration of the research or gagamit kayo ng Gantt chart. When we say timeline, pag sinabi nating timeline, involved dyan yung duration of the research. Pag sinabing duration of the research, from sa simula, sa unang step ninyo, up until now, nasaan na ba yung takbo ng research ninyo. For example, nagsasurvey na kayo. For example, nandoon na kayo sa statistical treatment. Ayan. So, ilalagay nyo siya dyan. Siyempre, involved dyan yung date. Ayan. At gagamit kayo ng Gantt chart. Ayan. Para maipakita ninyo yung timeline, yung maayos na timeline ng duration of your research. And then, reference. It contains list of books, journals, and other sources cited in your paper. Siyempre, sabi natin, hindi pwedeng gawa-gawa lang yung informations. Kailangan meron tayong supported evidences or informations na nakuha natin. For example, sa past studies, sa dissertations, journals, ayan, or essays, any materials na makakatulong or makakasupport sa inyong research studies. Diba, sabi natin dapat factual information yung ilalagay natin. Okay, tapos na tayo dun sa mga parts, ano ba yung mga different example ng concept paper for a project project concept, for our research paper concept. So, let us move on with this, which is yung ways to elucidate a concept paper. Yan. Before writing a concept paper, you must first learn how to explain your concept of your project or research. Basically, there are 3 ways of explaining a concept. So, bago daw tayo mag-present ang concept paper, syempre kailangan alam natin i-explain yung concept natin ng project or our research concept. Ayan. Syempre, alangan naman na basta lang tayo nagsulat, hindi naman pala natin alam yung buong content or nilalaman yan. Ayan. Kailangan bago tayo mag-present, inaral muna natin or alam natin yung ating concept. Yan. Sabi dito, ito daw yung the following, itong mga sumusunod, makakatulong sa inyo paano ma-explain ng maayos or mabigyan ng explanation yung inyong concept. Ayan. First is, pwede tayong gumamit ng definition. According to this definition, explaining the concept by answering, what does it mean? This makes of an illustrations, examples, and description to clarify the term. A definition can be done in 3 ways. So, sa definition, ayan, bibigyan natin siya ng simpleng pagpapaliwanag lang yung about, for example, yung term or yung concept ninyo. So, yun na, i-define lang natin siya. Maikling pagpapaliwanag or brief explanation lang about dun sa concept. Ayan. So, under nun is first yung informal definition, giving of a parenthetical or brief explanation. Yan, informal definition. Ayun lang, basta mo lang in-state yung term na yon or yung concept na yon, binigyan mo lang siya ng simpleng explanation or brief explanation, maikling pagpapaliwanag. Yun po yung informal definition. Like this, example, ayan, tocopherol or yung vitamin E, sabi dito, is naturally found in vegetable oil, fish, and nuts. So, dito, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung tocopherol or vitamin E, siya yung pinaka-term or yung pinaka-concept. So, binigyan lang siya ng short definition or brief definitions. Yun lang yung informal definition. And then, letter B, formal definition. Kanina, informal. So, dito naman, formal definition naman siya. According to this, giving of the term to be defined, the category, and the quality that makes the term different from other terms in the same category. Meaning to say, meron tayong word or term na concept na i-define, and then yung category niya at saka yung quality niya. Ito po yung example. Yan. First example is about vitamin E. So, ito yung term to be defined. And then, is a light yellow fat-soluble vitamin. Ito naman is yung category of the term. Ayan. And then, that acts as antioxidant. Ito naman yung quality ng term. Yan. Next example is biology. Yan, biology, ito yung pinaka-term to be defined. And then, is a branch of science. Ito yung category of the term, which is yung biology nga. And then, that studies living organism. Ito yung pinaka-quality ng term, which is yung biology. Yan. So, dito, kanina, informal definition, basta lang natin binigay yung statement or yung binigyan lang natin siya ng maikling pagpapaliwanag or definition. So, dito, sa formal definition, meron tayong term na ide-define and then, or concept na ide-define. So, and then, syempre, ika-classify din natin siya sa yung term na yon, yung category niya. And then, ide-define din natin yung quality ng term na yon. So, ito po yung formal definition. Yan, pagbibigay ng definition. And then, C, extended definition is a detailed way of defining a term and is usually a 1 paragraph. It incorporates various patterns of formal, informal, comparison and contrast, narration, description, classification, cause, and effect to explain a concept. Extended, pag sinabi natin, kapag narinig nyo yung extended definition, meaning to say, aside sa meron tayong concept na ide-define, or term na ide-define, meron siyang quality and characteristics, ayan, or category. Kapag sinabing extended, it usually 1 paragraph siya. Meaning to say, mahaba. Hindi lang siya definition na brief definition, yan lang. So, usually 1 paragraph yung pagbibigay ng definition kapag extended definition para ma-explainan nyo na maayos yung concept or yung project or a research concept ninyo na ginagawa. Ayan. Example niyan is First, described in 1907 by Alice Alzheimer's, a German physician, Alzheimer's disease is an adult-onset neurological disorder of unknown etiology or cause, manifested by loss of memory, impaired thought processes, and abnormal behavior. Another, when the illness begins before the age of 65, it is termed Alzheimer's disease. When onset is after 65, it is referred to as senile dementia of the Alzheimer's type. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, ayan, nakawan para mahaba yung definition na pagbibigay niya ng definition. So, ito po yung extended definition. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, hindi lang siya basta-basta nakacategorize, hindi lang siya basta yung term na ibinigay or binigyan ng brief definition. Ayan, kapag extended definition, mahaba yung pagbibigay ng paliwanag or explanation or pagbibigay ng definition. Yun lang yung simpleng pagpapaliwanag dyan. Yan. So, the following signal words are useful when explaining a concept by definition. Etong mga to, yung mga itong signal words for definition, ito yung makakatulong sa inyo para magbigay ng to signal na itong term na to is for giving a definitions. Ayan. Ito yung mga pwede nyong gamitin na words. First is as defined. Ayan. For example, for instance, is defined as, means, such as, to define, or to illustrate. So, ito yung mga signal words kapag magbibigay, pwede natin gamitin for giving a definition. Ayan. Okay? Okay. Ayan. Ito naman yung explication. Ayan. So, explication is a method of explanation in which sentences, verses, quotes, or phrases are taken from a literary or academic work, then interpreted and explained in a detailed way. So, sa simpleng pagpapaliwanag, explication, bawat nilalaman na, for example, sentences, verses, quotes, or phrases na nakuha ninyo sa literary or academic word, ayan, dapat ini-explain natin siya or ini-interpret or ini-explain in a detailed way. Kailangan detalyado yung pagkaka-explain. Yan. For example, sa sentences, bawat nilalaman ng sentences na yan, detalyado. Maski simple words man yan, ayan, lalo na kung literary or galing siya sa academic work, ayan. You may begin by analyzing how the text was constructed and end with a concise conclusion by restating your major argument. Explication not only illuminates a piece of literature, but also serves to remind the readers about its historical setting and formal properties of style and language. So, ito yung example natin. So, babasahin ko sa inyo. So, yung ginamit natin example dito is yung poem ni Robert Frost, which is The Road Not Taken. Okay, let us read. And in the final stanza of his poem, The Road Not Taken, Frost talks about his dilemma of coming upon two diverging paths and not knowing which one to choose. The third line is very important as it delivers an idea of choosing between the two divergent paths. Okay, continuation. The tone in this stanza shifts from regretful to optimistic. The two roads symbolically represent individual choices. The mood is neither depressed nor unhappy, but the poet sighs because he knows what the complexities our life may have for him. Yeah. Another, whether he has chosen a right or a wrong path, it has a compelling impact on his life. The phrase, less troubled, suggests the theme of individualism. From The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, based dun sa stanza or sa paragraph na naka-example kanina, na nakalahad dyan or naka-state, mapapansin ninyo, bawat nilalaman or mga simple words man yan, ini-explain ng isa. Sabi nga natin, explication, ini-explain ng detalyado. Maski mababang man na term yan, lalo na kapag galing siya sa literary piece. Yan, i-explain natin siya ng detalyado. Yun po yung explication or makakatulong sa inyo kung paano ninyo ma-explain yung inyong concept paper. Ayan. So, class, ito lang muna yung end ng discussion natin for today. Ayan. So, meron pa siyang continuation. Ayan, yung part 2 ng concept paper. Ayan. I hope na may natutunan kayo today. And if may mga queries kayo or questions, just PM or DM me. Ayan lang po. Or, if nahihiya kayo na magtanong personally through chat or through text, pwede nyo namang itanong na lang sa representative ninyo. And then, sa kanila ko na lang din sasabihin yung mga sagot. Ayan. Thank you and God bless.